Other news on health, and 1 out of 5 pregnant women in the Ahanta West municipality is a teenager. According to the Municipal Health Directorate, the municipality for the past 5 years has consistently ranked #1 in the Western region on the prevalence of teenage pregnancy. Henry Kwesibedu visited the municipality and reports the trend apparently is resulting in increased school dropouts for these teenage girls.
Yeah, when it comes to teenage pregnancy in Western region, Ahanta West is always leading.
Meet 17-year-old Yvonne Harrison, who has a 1-year-old son. Yvonne dropped out of school last year. The man who impregnated her has refused to accept responsibility, so her mother is saddled with the financial duty of taking care of both of them. Yvonne wants to go back to school and chase her dreams.
It's about 3 months ago, and I'm 16 years, and I'm turning school at Monta Vista. And when I'm going to school, and I saw that I'll get pregnancy, but I stopped the school and sit down. I said that if I get birth, I'll intentionally go to school, but when I saw it's not good. Yes, I wish to go to school, but my mother said that you will not need to go to school again.
But her mother, Augustina Mensah, would have none of that. She said her daughter has disappointed her by getting pregnant, so should rather sponsor her to learn a trade.
I struggled financially when Yvonne got pregnant. She was operated during birth and became ill afterwards. I paid for my daughter's surgery. My businesses have been affected because I am taking care of my daughter and my grandson. I virtually do everything for her. The father of the child has refused to take care of financial responsibilities. My husband is also supporting me. My daughter is very intelligent. I had wanted her to further her education, but I was disappointed when she got pregnant. After she gave birth, I wanted her to go back to school, but I have changed my mind. I want her to learn a trade now.
A dream of going back to school deferred, perhaps dimmed forever. At Impenyinasa, a small community just about 2 kilometers from the municipal capital, is Victoria Akins. She dropped out of school at age 16 after her first pregnancy. Now she's 19 and has 2 children with 2 different men. Victoria admits that taking care of both children is not easy, as both fathers have not lived up to their financial responsibility.
Me 17 but
I got pregnant at age 16. The father of the child did not accept responsibility due to financial constraints. I am also unemployed with 2 children, so I am unable to cater for their needs. Sometimes my mother gives me money to buy food for the children. In fact, we sometimes go to bed hungry.
Another dream dimmed. 15-year-old Amma is already 7 months pregnant. She dropped out of school 4 months ago. She's too shy to speak, but said she regrets carrying a baby at her tender age. Further checks at the capital of the Ahanta West, Aguna Ahanta Clinic, showed 2 teenagers delivered on the day of this report. Health Director of the Ahanta West Municipality, Catherine Ifa Otu, said lack of parental guidance is the cause of the high prevalence of teenage pregnancy in the area.
I'll say we are the West. When it comes to teenage pregnancy in Western region, Ahanta West is always leading. For every 5 pregnancies, one of them is a teenager. The principal issue was our parental care, poor parental care. I interviewed men, women, and school, and then the teenagers themselves. And these three groups all came up strongly with poor parental care. Funerals are organized every week in this district, every week. Whereas in other districts, it's done once in a month. And when you get closer to this ceremony, you realize that the teenagers, the children, are always hanging around. When it's around 5 p.m., the adults leave and the children take over until 8 p.m. thereabouts. And nobody knows what happens afterwards.
It is, however, unbelievable that children as young as 10 years are getting pregnant and dropping out of school, a situation aggravated by the vicious cycle of poverty and illiteracy in the municipality. Perhaps the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection should take the worrying trend of teenage pregnancy seriously, because many young girls there have little or no aspiration and also have no role models to look up to. Henry Kwesi Bedu's reports for JoyNews.
Now let's take you to the Gonja West District. And the District Health Director, Hajia Fuseina Suleimana, says workers of the Directorate operate under very deplorable working conditions. According to her, the facility, which was built in the early 1980s, has not witnessed any renovation. The Savannah Region correspondent, Isaac Nyonja, has the rest of the story.
An exclusive interview with JoyNews in Damago, the capital of the Savannah region, Hajia Fuseina recounts the numerous appeals the Directorate has made to the West Gonja District Assembly without a single intervention. Apart from the ceiling fan that works, the ceiling is broken, so it leaks when the rains fall.
When I took over, entered this office, I saw that the office was not good enough. So I wrote to District Assembly to help me renovate it. It is captured in their budget for renovation. But since then, up to this time, nothing is done about it. I invited the then DCE and the coordinating director. They came, looked at it, and said they will work on it. Since I came, there's no AC in the office. And when I took over, because of everybody is now insured, NHIS, so the IGF, we don't get anything from the IGF.
By the District Chief Executive Officer for West Gonja, Saeed Muhazi Jibrin, in his response, urged leadership of the Directorate to stop complaining and be responsible.
As a head of department, you have to also be responsible. You don't rely on government at all times, that if government doesn't come in to do this, you also generate some IGF. You also get some small quarterly grants. The little that you have to also use it to make the place that you stay very nice for yourself. We were torn between the accommodation of the health director and the office accommodation. So, you know, to draw a budget at the district assembly, you need the confirmation of the general house. So we had priorities. Which one do we prioritize first? The district director's bungalow or the office? So we prioritize the district director's bungalow, of which we have fully completed the renovation. Complete as I speak. So the next one is the district director's offices and other officers. That's the district health directorate. Because we don't have the money, you cannot start the projects at the same time.
Meanwhile, the story on these two semi-detached staff bungalows for the Directorate is not different, as the structure appears abandoned. Isaac Nonya, JoyNews, Damago.
And away from health-related stories, we have to take you to the Ashanti region. Now we know June 3, 2015 remains one of Ghana's tragic moments as flood and fire combined to take over 100 people's lives in Ghana's capital, Accra. Despite efforts to avert a recurrence of the disaster, early detection of gas leakage continues to elude the country. There's, however, hope as 3 students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have developed a detector with an SMS alert. On Tech Thursday, Lab FM's Kwesi Debra speaks with 3 female engineering students behind the current innovation.
Ghana has since 2014 recorded at least 9 major incidents of gas explosion nationwide. 6 of them occurred in the Greater Accra region and 1 each in Takoradi in Western, Kaswa in Central and Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Reports indicate 35% of the over 300 burns cases reported at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in 2017 were from gas explosions. Level 100 chemical engineering student Comfort Benawo Seusu led the initiative. Together with her friends Safiano Inunam and Barakisu Nasiru, both geological engineering students, she set out to work after losing a friend in a gas explosion.
I and my colleagues here decided to do this project, gas leakage detector, because of fire outbreaks, mainly because of fire outbreaks. We have scenes happening in KDT PZ where we are losing a lot of property and lives as well. Last semester we lost one of our students because of this, and we in our capabilities decided to do this project.
The gadget is equipped with a sensor which detects gas concentration and triggers a buzzer to alert neighbors.
Okay, we have a sensor, we have Arduino, we have GPS and GSM model, and we have a buzzer. So when the sensor detects a concentration of gas around it, the buzzer will give out noise. So if you are around or neighbors around, will just come close to where the noise is, then they will see to it whatever will happen. And we also have the GPS and the GSM model to give you a text message, that, oh, there is a leakage of gas. And we've made it in such a way that can send message to 2 to 3 people, can add fire service number to it, which is important because fire service work 24/7. Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to make this thing big and sell it in the markets because it can really help. It can help.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
We have the brains and we have the talent. What a great innovation. Back here in Accra, lawyers for the Electoral Commission, they have been handed up until May 17, 2019 to justify why the commissioners should not be sanctioned for failure to ensure that modalities governing how Ghanaians abroad participate in national elections are approved by Parliament. Justice Anthony Yeboah, who was presiding over an Accra High Court in December 2017, gave the Electoral Commission 12 months to secure approval for a constitutional instrument spelling out how voting is conducted. The Commission is currently engaging various stakeholders as it attempts to prepare the constitutional instrument. But the individuals who secure this decision want the Commissioner's conviction for contempt and sanctions imposed. There's more in the following report.
5 Ghanaians resident abroad dragged the EC to court, asking that the Commission be compelled to implement the law passed in 2006. They allege the EC had discriminated against them in failing to allow them participate in all national elections since Parliament passed the law. Justice Anthony Yeboah granted this request when he ordered that the EC ensures the relevant regulations spelling out the process in place within 12 months. The individuals who took the matter to court remained optimistic.
Outside of everything else, we are Ghanaian nationals. We were born here. And as per the Constitution that we all live by, if you were born here, then you have a right, as per the 1992 the Constitution Act 284, that if you're of sound mind, 18 years or above, it's the EC's responsibility, and I'm paraphrasing, to provide for you the circumstances and the situations to have you vote.
More than 12 months on, the Commission is yet to ensure that the regulations are in place. It is currently engaging in a series of consultations as it prepares to push for approval. But the plaintiffs want the court to convict and sanction the EC chairperson and fellow commissioners for failure to obey the court's order. The EC's lawyers, however, raised an objection that the commissioners could not be held personally liable. Justice Ellen Amwa, in her ruling on Wednesday, said the commissioners ought to justify why they should not be sanctioned for failure to obey the court's order. They have been handed up until May 17 to justify why sanctions should not be imposed on them.
And before we go, consultants on the abandoned vice presidential residence project are asking government to take a decision on its future as soon as possible so that it does not deteriorate in its current state. There was controversy about the project in 2017 when Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia disclosed the edifice could cost the state some $13.9 million more. It stated government would seek to renegotiate the cost of the project so that it could hopefully be built for less. Nothing much has since been heard on the building since the update was given in July 2017. Managing Director of the State-Owned Agricultural and Architectural and Engineering Services Limited, AESL, Robert Abugri, told Parliament's Public Accounts Committee that work has since been suspended because of concerns about the cost.
Advanced in its execution, but at that point of time, questions were asked about the the scope and then the cost. There was therefore a temporary halt in the execution. From, excuse me to say, government side, it was like the contractor was owed monies and questions were raised in connection with the project in its totality. That led to suspension of works. As at now, it still remains suspended and no work is going on now. We probably waiting for government to take a decision as to the final use that the project is going to be put to, and is any other directives that may be coming forth that will take on board that.
Would you like to advise government to take decision on this matter? Because 2 years, 3 years going, project has been suspended. The benefits for which the project is being constructed we are losing that benefit. So will you advise government to take decision? I'm not saying that tell government to continue or to do something, but government should take decision on what to do with the project.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think that should be a good way forward because it's a state asset now, even though it's not completed.
Yeah.
It needs to be completed and put to use.
Yeah.
So that suggestion is
okay. That's fine. Thank you very much. That will be all for the AESL. We want to thank.
Meanwhile, the Public Accounts Committee Chairman James Kluchi-Avaji says it is worrying the structure has been allowed to waste away for the past 2 years.
Not be able to tell why government has put a hold on that project and hasn't taken a decision. It's now being revealed from this report that the project has been there and then government is not taking a decision on it. So, yes, we knew there were a number of issues that came up about the amount that was quoted as being the cost of the project. But the project has been started. Some costs have been incurred. Should we say that it should be there forever and deteriorate, or want to take a decision? If the fee or the cost of the project should be reviewed by the current government, they should review it, let the project be completed, let it put to use.
You get the sense it's more of a political decision on...
Definitely. We are talking to political animals. Political animals are taking decisions. Definitely there will be politics in it. But should we be doing politics at the disadvantage, at the expense of the Ghanaians taxpayer? No.
For you, what's the cost to the states? The fact that, it's not being used even after the work started?
I'm not sure that the cost that was mentioned earlier when this government took office, all that cost have been paid. No, I don't believe it. That is why I said if government was not satisfied with whichever cost was mentioned as the cost of the project, once that entire money has not been paid, why government don't go into negotiation with the contractor, come up with a new cost, then allow the project to be completed. If government think that that cost is too much and government will be able to bring the cost down, government should go ahead and do it and bring the cost down. Then the project budget can be put to use by the government.
Is it something you are ready to push, here in Parliament?
We'll do our recommendation.
The right thing is done.
We'll do our recommendation that as part of our sitting, this issue came up as one of the public interest questions. That will urge Parliament to approve or do a recommendation for government to take up the matter and ensure that the project is completed once and for all.
Well, that's it for the run-up of the news update. But please stay with us. We have more news. We have some great publications on the front and back pages of the newspapers we have in the studio. Stay with us. Myself, Mamavi Usabwaji, will be here. But we also have to wish our colleague well, Koje Ankson, who is a bit under the weather. He'll be back soon. But in the meantime, I have to also say good morning to you, a good friend of mine, Benjamin Kujo Tufomenu. You live in London, United Kingdom. I wish you all the best for the day. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.